everyone, this is IntuitiveEdge. Welcome to my channel once again. It's time to take a look at our week ahead and see what the cards have in store. So I'm going to shuffle up and I'll be right back and we'll get started. So I did a video and I believe I uploaded it on one of my other platforms. I use Bitchute, Brighteon, and Rumble. I think I put this one up on Rumble. It was just recently, maybe in the last week or so. But I had a inclination, an intuitive insight that there were perhaps some people on the inside, some white hats, some good guys, I don't know, but that they were possibly tweaking the AI algorithms in certain social media giants and messing up their algorithms and doing a few things. Well, I just saw on Liberal Hive Mind, he just posted a video that Twitter just deleted a whole bunch of lefty accounts on Twitter, and it has people up in arms. They're screaming about censorship now and bring them back, And I don't know if this is because of anybody messing with anything, but I just had to think that I wonder if it's what I saw is some hackers going in and messing with algorithms and turning the algorithms on itself. And I wonder if that might have been partly responsible for a whole bunch of people being en masse taken off Twitter. Again, I haven't verified this independently for myself. I just saw it, so I haven't had a chance to completely verify that it's true. But it just made me think. And kind of made me chuckle too as well. Okay, all right, I'm going to shuffle up the cards. We're going to be looking at this week, mostly around probably election news, because this is still an ongoing saga, so that's probably going to come up in the cards. And then what we can expect to see in the news, kind of what the energy is this week. Okay, all right, I'll be right back. Okay, so for election news, I've got the Sun. That's a really positive card. So positive developments with regard to the election this week. That's interesting because we're heading right into some deadlines. So let's see. I've got Trump team, Biden team. Uh-oh. Okay, well, here we go. Trump team, I had the Chariot card come out. Now, it did come out upside down. So this is a card of planning, strategizing, moving ahead, full steam ahead, but we're upside down. So it could be trying to get ahead, possibly having to really push to get things out. Maybe they're having to really work around some obstacles in order to push out what they're wanting to get accomplished. Running up against the deadlines and things like that. So that's interesting on the Trump team. So with the Trump team, I sense that there's things going on multiple fronts. There's a public kind of what we're seeing, but there's a lot of pieces in the background that we're not seeing. Okay, a lot of steps being taken in the background, and it's like all sides are being looked at, all angles, like coming from all angles. So yeah, I just see that very strongly. Like they're really going at all sides. It's like that chariot momentum is not going in one direction. It's going in all directions. That's what I sense with this. Yeah. I get kind of an aggressive feeling with it too. I get this sense of like deciphering truth from fiction and getting to the root of it and pulling out the imagery is coming to me of just like I'm looking at him here, okay? He's pulling on that reed, okay? Just pulling it up, and like we're just pulling things out of our way, and it's almost kind of a frantic feeling, but it's not like a chaotic or out of control. It's just full steam ahead in all directions, and it's like we're just going for whatever direction we can go. It's it's not, like I said, it's not chaotic, but it kind of is just out there. Like we're just going for it. Okay. All right. Okay, so next is on the Biden team. Well, here we go. We got the Tower card on the Team Biden. Uh-oh. So I've had 3 major arcana. The Sun on the election news is like happy, but it's not so happy on the Biden team. Wow. Okay. Well, as we know, the Tower card is things falling apart, things kind of plans kind of catastrophically, I don't know, imploding. What's a good word for that? Yeah, Tower card on Team Biden. I don't know that I really need to say much more than that. It feels like, okay, we'll try to feel into it. I get a sense that I'm feeling like this tower here. I'm feeling like the structure of the tower that was built up. It was built up so tall and high, and it was built on kind of flimsy foundation. And that is beginning to kind of tumble and crumble. And if that foundation goes, then everything's going to come down. And it just feels like it's going to descend on itself because it was built up kind of on false pretenses is what I feel. And if it was indeed built up on false votes and fake votes, that may kind of start to shake out this week. Okay, with this tower, you see that building is coming down and it feels like a shakeout. So we may be seeing some shaking going on. With Team Biden anyway. Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, last 4 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Got a lot of major. Wow. Okay, well, this is going to be an interesting week because we have 6 out of the 7 cards are major arcana, and the one that isn't is a king. So that's pretty incredible for this week. We have a reversed king on what we know. Okay, now when this king comes in reversed, this king reversed, especially in the tarot deck, is a pretty ominous sign. It's a sign of greed and corruption, really bad leadership, like just bad leadership, corrupt, completely corrupt. And that's on what we know. So that's what's coming out. That's what we're beginning to see. That's what we're beginning to understand and know, is that regarding this week that's coming out and with the election and everything, that there's been a lot of corruption. And I think I got a message coming in. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just trying to tune into messages I'm getting with this. I'm hearing the name Joy Reid, and I don't know why I'm hearing her name. But I'm looking at this corrupt king, and I don't know if she's going to be involved with exposing corruption, or if she's going to be highlighted, or defending somebody who's, I don't know. I heard her name. Okay, guys, I just have to tell you what I see. Okay, I just have to tell you what I see. All right, so I'm looking at this upside down king again. And this king is dressed in a red robe. Okay. But he's got this blue pentacle. It's like putting the blue out front when the red is large, massive, and in the background. I just get the biggest kick out of this. It's like this giant red, but we're putting this blue out front. And to me, that's just that corruption, that dishonesty, deceit. And this upside down king is all about dishonesty, deceit. I think that corruption is really going to come out with the voter election issues. And it's not just voter problems. The election itself has been very compromised from what we're learning, and I think more of that's going to come out this week. What is happening behind the scenes this week? We've got the moon on that. Now, this is about secrets. This is about things behind the veil. What is happening behind the scenes are things that are hidden. So kind of a double whammy on that. There's a lot that is hidden that we're not seeing, that we're not being told. Feels like there are some people who are trying to hide the devious or deceitful nature of what's happening behind the scenes. It's like we have to guard what's happening behind the scenes. We can't let anybody see what happened in secret. And it feels like there's a lot of, I just sense with the salamander and the crawfish, it's like we're protecting and hiding what's happened behind the scenes. We don't want anybody finding out what we did in secret. But it's not going to work. It's got that moon, that big giant full moon rising in the background. And even though the moon doesn't light up things as bright as the sun, it does shed light on things. And I think to some extent we are going to start to see that veil being pulled back. And I think we're going to start to see a little bit of what's been going on. Some of that funky stuff is going to start to be coming out. And they're not going to be able to hide it, okay? It's like when the light comes out, the roaches have to, they run and hide wherever they can and scatter. And yeah, there's too much that is for them to hide. I just don't think it's going to work long term. Okay, what we will see in the news. Oh man, we got another major, as I said, another major arcana. The rest of these are majors. We got the Magician upside down. I'll show them to you upright. Now this card about using everything at your disposal to affect the outcome and make it the way you want. Okay, all right, the messages I get on this, I don't know what this means, but there's coming out a standard. Like somebody who, okay, I don't know if it's somebody or some organization. There's going to be some organization that comes out on top. I think this is in the realm of disseminating information and news. I'm getting a sense that there's a lot of chaos this week in the realm of disseminating news and information. I see ratings tank. I'm seeing something tanking for like CNN or some of those other big news agencies and news outlets. They're getting it wrong. They're being discredited. They're having their ratings fall. They're imploding of some kind on some level. But there is coming up a standard. Okay, I'm just describing what I'm seeing because I don't know how to explain this really well, okay? Somebody's going to come out on top with regard to their news reporting. There is a standard, a new standard being, I don't know if it's coming out, a new standard. Okay, one news agency, I don't know who, is going to come out standing tall when the others will fall. Okay, and I feel like there's all this like just chaos, news going this way and that way, and they're all falling, they're all imploding, their ratings are down, everybody is getting it wrong except for one news agency. Now I don't know who it is. I don't know. But there's some news agency or news group or something that got it right, and they're like the new standard bearer. And they're holding the light, okay? They're holding the light, and they're standing tall when others will fall. That's all I got. I don't know who this is. I don't know how to make sense of it. I just tell you what I'm seeing. One will stand tall, and the others will fall. I feel like this is possibly the birth or the genesis of something new in the news industry. And I think this is just like a snippet, but this is something that's probably going to be played out in the next years to come, okay? But we might get an inkling of it this week. But it's like a new standard is being raised, is being created, and it is putting the others to shame. And this will be in the future. It's like we're going to build on this. This model is going to be built upon, and there's going to be a new birthing of news media coming out. And we're talking, this is out in the future, okay? But there's a new standard coming. And it's a high standard. It's a moral, it's an ethical, it's the way that news was meant to be. It's like that standard is coming back. It's coming, I don't know that it may not be coming back. I don't know that we've ever really had it. But this propaganda machine that has just been spewing garbage that we call news, that is going to be embarrassed this week, put to shame this week. And the new standard is going to be something that I think people are going to start to want to take notice of, because there's going to be more on this in the future going forward. Okay. All right. Last card, we have Temperance upside down. This is the overall energy this week. Now, Temperance card being temperance, balance, bringing everything into an equilibrium, but with it upside down, it can be a little bit of a struggle trying to get things to balance out this week. There's a lot with that Magician upside down, especially the Temperance card right next to it, kind of their energies are kind of blending. She's trying to kind of balance out that chaotic energy of the reversed Magician, and it's kind of affecting her energy as well. So she's reversed too. It's like they're both kind of playing off each other. But she's going to, I think, be able to win a little bit in the end because she has a more stabilizing energy about her. So she's going to work on that destabilizing energy with the news media this week of everybody getting everything wrong, some purposefully, others just because they're inept, and that new standard being birthed this week. Now, let's see if I get any messages on her overall this week. I don't really sense anything other than her energy is just trying to blend and make things a little more solid again. Earlier in this video I mentioned a shaking. I do think there might be an earthquake this week. I don't know if it's going to be a big one somewhere across the globe or maybe a semi-large earthquake here in the US. But there may be some literal shaking this week going on. Of course, there's earthquakes every week. They don't always make it into my videos, but for some reason it's coming up, a shaking. So maybe it does have to do with the United States. The thing I'm focused on again with that Temperance card is the concept of meditation. The more that she can focus in on prayer and meditation and focusing on creating that balance and harmony within herself, the more it's going to be able to right those wrongs and right that chaotic mess that's kind of coming out this week. There's going to be a lot of frantic energy this week. And so anything that we can do, I think that's a message for all of us, anything that we can do to center ourselves, to calm ourselves, spend some time out in nature, go for walks, spend time just in silence, solitude, go out, and just whatever helps ground you, calm you, that's going to help the whole. It doesn't just help us, but when we meditate and we come to a sense of peace and we feel better, generally, it does help send out that good energy to those around us too. It's not just for us, it's for our environment, for the people around us, for the world around us. We do have a ripple effect, so don't forget that. That whatever we can do to bring peace in our own lives and calm, and not focus on chaos, but focus on bringing calm and healing, that will radiate out, okay? It does have a ripple effect. So focus on that this week if that's helpful to you. Especially with, there's just going to be, there may be some funny things happening this week. I'm just getting something with humor, and it could be, I don't know, God's humor, the way God sees something funny. I don't know, but something funny on a higher level is going to be playing out this week. Some people may not think it's funny, others may think it's hilarious, and I don't know what that is, but it's something on a grander scale that, maybe somebody walks into a trap that they set for someone else, and it springs on them and they get caught, and in some ways it's like ironically funny. Anyway, I don't know what that is, but for what it's worth, that's just what came to me. Okay, so anyway, this is kind of a different weekly spread, but that's what I get this week. I do think overall with the election news, we've got that sun coming out. So there's some light being shed, some good news coming out with regard to the election and in regard to the truth, okay? Well, that's what we want, is the truth. As long as it's an honest, fair, true, what we want to see is honest, fair, true elections and not a fraud, okay? So maybe we can get to the bottom of some of the fraud and make things right. And so some of that's going to be coming out. So we'll see what happens. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you joined me. We'll catch you next time. This has been Intuitive Edge. See you next time.